This is the story of freedom. The freedom to explore the world. The freedom to shine bright. The freedom to grow. The freedom to fly. The freedom to learn. The freedom to try. The freedom to dream. The freedom to create a better future. The story of progress of India is the story of TCS.
Hello and welcome. I'm Kritika Saxena, and you're watching the fourth episode of TCS Studios Presents Transforming India. The story of progress of India is the story of TCS. Now, in the last 75 years of India's independence, we as Indians have become global citizens. We have the freedom to fly to any location of the world, and we can do that and plan that at the click of a button, quite literally. Now, the Director General of Civil Aviation is a regulator that has been monitoring the civil aviation sector. The growth of the civil aviation industry is why we have the freedom to fly to any location, like I said, at the click of a button. To talk about this transformation story, to talk about how tech can enable making our lives easier and can actually contribute to the growth of the aviation sector, is integral to the growth of the aviation sector. We have a very special panel lined up to talk about one of the most interesting digital transformation stories that we have seen in the last 2-3 decades. Joining us now is Neeraj Berry, eGCA Program Director between 2019 and 2020. Sushil Jain, Business Sub-Unit Head of Public Services for TCS. And a special guest joining in today is Captain Riyad Palia, pilot and trainer at a leading Indian airline. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in. So I'm going to start with you, Neeraj. Neeraj, can you first, let's start with decoding the eGCA story for us.
Thank you, Kritika. I must first say that it's a privilege to be on your show. And if I talk about DGCA, they provide rules and regulation for the civil aviation world, ensure compliance through safety oversight, and through their offering of 300 odd services across 12 directorates. If I visualize what I could see when we started with this program, there was a huge physical store which kept all the files, which archived all the files. Anytime a medical assessment had to be done by the pilot in any other location, the file from headquarters would physically move to that location and would be brought back. 2019, DDCA embarked on this journey with TCS as the digital transformation partner, setting up a tall order. 300 services to be digitized, about 3 crore documents to be scanned and digitized. Not only that, the help desk and the chatbot and all those features to ease the operations to be set up. 6 months, we were supposed to go live with our first set of services after embarking on this journey. That is where TCS brought its key differentiator, its DigiGov platform, which offered the needed kickstart. DigiGov laid the foundation, the digital foundation. It brought with it the simple components on which eGCA platform was built. Saving on time, bringing in a tried and tested, proven platform. So this is what typically summarizes the eGCA story for our viewers.
That's a beautiful summary, Neeraj. So, Captain Riyad, coming to you then. You've seen this transformation take effect into daily lives. You've seen it actually happening in your industry. So, help us understand a little. You've been very closely associated with the GCA, platform. Help us understand how this has changed the aviation industry and how this transformation has effectively changed all our lives.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Kritika. First of all, thanks for having me on. I think Neeraj beautifully summarized the entire process of what's happened over I think 3 years in just a couple of minutes. Our transformation as an aviation industry, Kritika, has moved forward in leaps and bounds over the last 3 years. Myself, I've been flying for over 15 years now, and honestly, the eGCA is what we were hoping for. Right from the beginning, we wanted all this to be digital. We wanted things to be easy, and didn't want to go through all those steps that Neeraj just mentioned. So definitely must commend the DGCA for taking that step as well. I feel the eGCA platform is a perfect combination of the Make in India scheme, Digital India, ease of doing business. It's a perfect combination of all these three. And we've seen decades of paper-based processes, manual processes going digital in just a couple of years. Moving forward, it's going to be even better. Just in these last couple of years, we've seen reduction in our turnaround times from the time that we apply for something, maybe a renewal or an initial document. We've seen a reduction and minimized personal interaction that's required. We don't have to physically be present at headquarters or different regional offices as well. Uh, there's an increase in efficiency, better transparency, and an important byproduct of digitization is, of course, a reduction of errors. And this leads to enhanced safety. And as Neeraj said, that's a foundation that aviation is built on. I think that's the best way I can put how it's changed for us in a short, in a very small way.
Well said, very well said. So let's dive a little further into this. And I do want to come back to everybody on the steps ahead and what more can be done. Sushil, coming to you then, tell us a little bit about the technology behind the platform and how, sometimes when the transformation actually happens, it seems so simple, but there are a lot of complex steps involved in the process. So take us through that.
Yeah, good morning, Kritika, and thanks a lot for having me out today to talk about one of my favorite accounts, which is DGCA. And as rightly said by
Yeah.
you and Neeraj and Captain Palia, this has transformed the Indian civil aviation industry per se, right? So, Kritika, I mean, eGCA uses latest digital technologies to provide a seamless services to its stakeholders. Just to simplify the entire thing, there is an external channel which is available on web and mobile to all the external customers like Captain Palia. It enables DGCA services to be available from anywhere now, at any time, from any device. Then there is a backend channel which is available for DGCA officials to act on the request and act on the services which come to them, right? It has an inbuilt sophisticated workflow, case management, and document management inbuilt into it. There are no more files which move from one table to another. I mean, as we all know, I mean, you would have seen this famous Fite Wali file, right? That moves in the old paper era. It's a thing of past. It's all now digital at the click of a button. There is a help desk which is IVR enabled and as well as an agent which supports and provides services and any queries that any user might have. Last but not the least, my favorite is Akash, which is an artificial intelligent virtual conversational agent, which is available 24 by 7 to resolve the common queries from any users in an uninterrupted manner. And this entire platform, Kritika, is hosted in a public cloud, which provides the scalability and the availability which is required for our users. The digital spine of the eGCA is built on DigiGov, which is the TCS e-governance framework. The entire architecture is latest, built on Java and microservices, which make the business functionality loosely coupled for easy integration and faster build, test, and deployment. And as Captain Palia was talking about, this just the start. This platform is just the start, and and there would be a lot of integration that we are envisaging going forward for the Indian civil aviation industry. Real-time reporting is available. Decisions are now possible based on the rule engine, which is inbuilt in the system. So all in all, Kritika, eGCA is built on a robust and solid foundation, which is future-proof.
Artificial intelligence is exciting for everyone. So, Captain Palia, if I can come to you on that, tell us a little bit about those features like artificial intelligence and how that sort of simplifies the function. I mean, what does Akash mean to you as a pilot, for instance?
Right. So if you look at different technologies that are coming up in the aviation industry, apart from using artificial intelligence just within the eGCA platform, there are so many other things that we need to look at internally as an industry as well, which I'll get to, I think, in a little bit. But to speak of just processes within the eGCA and using their AI, using Akash as a chatbot, Neeraj just mentioned there are about 300 different processes available to us today, and I'd love to speak about some of them. I mean, I can't speak of about 300, but some major ones that I'd love to speak about would be something that Neeraj brought up in the beginning, which is our booklet licenses, right? If you see, these are my actual booklet licenses I have in front of me, and this is how we used to go till a couple of years ago, and now we're just over to a small little card, and it's a smart card. It has all our information. We don't need to submit, get stamps, get signatures like it used to be back in the day anymore. It's all updated immediately on our card. That's a huge step up for us, something we wanted for a long time. Our medical process is the second one. That used to be a process that used to take such a long time. There used to be a physical paper that we had to take with us to doctors, to clinics, and all these different places. Now it's all scannable, and the fact that we can do all this sitting at home saves us time, improves the process, makes it more efficient, and it just makes us feel so much better doing these processes that we know we need to do because the rules and regulations say that we have to. The third and last one I'd love to talk about is about the logbooks, right? So every pilot needs to maintain a logbook of what flights they do. This will assist us in getting upgrades of licenses. When we want to renew our licenses, we have to show that we've done a certain number of hours, etc. And uh, look, this is my old logbook here. This is what we had to carry around with us all the time on every flight. They're heavy, they're bulky. If you had two or three, you had to carry all of them. Now it's completely gone. The eGCA platform has an embedded e-logbook within it. So at the end of the flight, I can now just use phone. I can just fill up my flight information, and all the data is already with the DGCA. Also, currently me myself, I'm working with the DGCA. A lot of other airlines are also working with them and yourselves at TCS to completely eliminate even these manual entries by us. Soon, all airlines are going to sync their own rostering systems along with TCS and with the DGCA, so the pilots don't have to make any entries. It's just automatically sent at the end of the flight. So these are the kind of processes that we get excited about, and I think they're just a few examples of how excited we are and how excited the industry is to have this platform available to them.
How can this platform be kind of reimagined to expand onto other services? What is next for eGCA?
So, Kritika, the digital foundation has already been established. It's a very robust foundation. It is highly interoperable. It can talk to any system. The data has already started coming from all across. So we are able to make payment to Bharat Kosh. We're able to now talk to operators. I'll take the example. So we started from manual, and we brought the manual logbook entry to e-logbook using a mobile app. Now, as I see, we are already having our operator data feed into the eGCA platform, and the e-logbook will already get its data. Even the pilot will not have to enter the logbook contents. It will get data from the operator itself. So it's already there. The journey is there. The foundation is there. The digital backbone is there. Sky is the limit, as I see it. Um, you will see a very intelligent system. So eGCA, I already call eGCA 1.0 is a very smart system. But The future will see it extremely intelligent. It will be able to warn potential irregularities. You'll be able to no file screams for itself that look, the pilot's medical assessment is due. It's all there now in the system. The system will warn, look, this pilot needs to undergo the medical assessment, or this airport has not responded back to the observations, or this is lacking, or that is lacking. That is the beauty of a digital, uh, uh, digital backbone that we have created, and that it only will be extended through artificial intelligence and the wisdom that we will gain on the platform in the days or months to come.
Say 10 years from now, how will lives of you and me change? I, as a flyer, what is the experience that I should have, which is going to be, kind of a look into the future? 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
I think this paperless journey is going to continue. As an industry as well, even though we have reduced a lot of paper and digitized a lot, there's still a lot further to go. New technologies such as content and training management systems, electronic flight folders in the cockpit, all this is going to completely change the industry in the short term. Also, you must remember that cost is really important to any to us, right, to the industry, especially specifically fuel cost. And you may have heard that there's a lot of procedures that pilots and engineers and we all do nowadays to reduce fuel costs, like switching off an engine on ground if we don't need it, flying at our optimum levels of optimum altitudes, all those kind of things. But we're already kind of pushing the boundaries with that. Moving forward, in the short term, I'm seeing now integration and analysis, trend analysis, predictive analysis, using big data, using AI, using machine learning, because that's the next step to further maybe enhance the speeds that we're flying at, different routes that we fly. That's the next step. And I see this as short term. In the long term, something that's really interesting, and I know that TCS is working on it as well, is training through VR and AR, right? Virtual reality, augmented reality is definitely the next step of training. There are other industries I know that you are assisting with that. Definitely, the aviation industry is next, and we're going to definitely use those technologies to enhance training, bring down costs. Sustainable use is something we'll see in the future, which will lead to reduced carbon emissions, of course, good for the environment, good for all of us. And of course, new satellite-based navigation and landing systems. India's at the forefront of that with its own Gagan system. I won't get into the technical details, but I mean, that's fantastic. We just had a first flight a few months ago, and moving forward, this is going to help passengers, going to reduce delays, and just make everyone enjoy aviation even more.
So let me paint up a use case for you, if I may.
Sure.
Let's say instead of you booking a ticket and printing a boarding pass or carrying it on a mobile, how about we let you in the airport, right? Just based on your facial biometric, right? You using a facial recognition system, which is where we take a high density photograph of yours using smart cameras and doing a heavy AI ML and big data analytics at the back end. So your face becomes your boarding pass. You just walk in, like just you walk into a mall for doing any of your shopping. So while once you enter, I mean, so there is no paper, there is no physical intervention, right? You just walk in at the airport. And once you are in the airport, you are sipping your favorite coffee in the lounge, right? How about getting a notification using the IoT sensors, which are at the gate, which actually tells how much time it's going to take based on your location where you're sitting in the airport, so that you go to the gate, right? And you don't have to stand in the queue. It's again a paperless, touchless thing that you just entered the aircraft. And so once you're in the once you're in the aircraft and you are comfortable on your seat, right? You don't get that currently that scanned and standardized in-flight entertainment. Rather, we are going to pull, right, your favorite playlist, let's say from Spotify, the movie
Wow.
that from your Amazon Prime account, and possibly the latest season of binge watching that you did on Netflix. All that is possible now with the use of 5G edge technology. So that's the future that we're talking about, Kritika, to answer your question.
So, Captain Palia, Sushil, and Neeraj, Thank you for the kind of transformation stories that you've been able to share. Thank you for your contribution in the transformation of the aviation sector. With that, it's time to end this special episode on eGCA of Transforming India. The story of progress of India is the story of TCS. Thanks for watching.